All right. Says excellent connection. Let's see how true that is. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how true that is. 3, 2, 1. Can y'all hear me? Are we on the interwebs? I believe we are. All right. We're not playing around. We're not playing around today. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Who am I kidding? All right. So let me get this set up, and we're just going to jump in. Oh, what's up, Jan ZPTV CSGO? What a name. Glad to have you. All right, so on this, we're not messing around. I might have to kind of pause for a phone call later, but I'm trying to go till noon. Right now it's 10:05. And we're going to go from the ground up, and I'm going to see how fast I can do this. Like, I'm not going to try and be picky about my selections and what I'm doing. I'm just going to try and throw something together real fast. Didn't mind the name XD. I made it when I was a kid. Yeah. Oh, man, one of my usernames when I started out was Malfunction DJ. That was my gamer tag. And then I think I had a YouTube channel, but yeah, man. No, I'm right there with you. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to do on that student request. All right, so as I said, I'm just going to redo what I had, and I'm going to try and do this as fast as humanly possible. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Go ahead, checking in. How are you, Olive? Let me send this text to my wife, and I'm going to start flying. Asan Mahood. Hello, Kyle. What's going on? I think it's Asan. What's going on, man? That's fire. I just made food and I got notified your stream. Perfect timing. Heck yeah, man. What are you cooking? What are you cooking? Fourth's here. Fourth is back. Ayo. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Let me see if I can get this margin right. Scoot this on over. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm going to be flying through this. All right, let me send a text to my wife and we'll get started. Checking in a handful. Okay, how are you? All right, and then I might get some music on. Made some homemade pizza. Oh my goodness, I've been eating my homemade pizza all week. Yeah, man, it's a cheap option. Things are tight tonight. Things are tight at these times, man. All right, texts are sent. Headphones are going on. I'm gonna get some music playing, royalty free, of course, because that's what we do around here. All right, let's see if I have it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I might have to turn this down. Okay, something real subtle. I think that's a little too quiet for y'all. We'll go with something like that. There's something. A gnat. Okay. Go ahead and get started. It's Friday. God, it feels good to be Friday, but I'll be working all weekend, so that's not going to make much difference. Okay, let's go ahead and do a new composition. All right, I think this one is, I think the composition's right, so it's composition, comp, I think this is like 5, whatever. That's 4, 26, 24. So I'm going to be running sales. I have a big sale, 60% off of all the course products, lifetime, subscription, and the bundle. They're all 60% off because I did a lot of updates. And if you haven't seen that video, you can find it on our channel. But huge 30 video drop this past week for 3D stuff. And for May, I actually got approached with 2 opportunities, and I'm going to see where they go. So as far as updates, those are going to be pretty slim. But I did want to put out a promo and a sale just because, like, I know May is is not going to be a lot of updates to the course. So just wanted to put that out there. The code is Orbit. I'll go ahead and just put it in the chat. Orbit for 60% off our course offerings. There you go. But no purchase necessary. We can have a good time. I ain't worried about it. But if you want to learn the fundamentals and not go at this fast pace of what I'm doing right now, it's a great resources in there for you. Okay, let's go ahead and bring some of these in. I think for the first one, we're going to compromise, and we're going to do confident back. I'm going to throw him in here, and then we'll scale him down. And then on the next scene, I think it's someone that's sitting at a desk, so we are going to find that desk one. And if you need something broken down, or if you have a question at all, like, let me know, because I'm gonna try to just do my best to kind of talk through what I'm doing, kind of go at my own pace. But if I'm going too fast, just let me know. Happy to explain my process any way that I can. All right, is my volume loud enough? Is that good? I can vouch, bought the Lifetime when you launched it, and it's super valuable. Thanks, man. That means the world to me. I'm not even kidding. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to just keep it going because I know a lot of people were cashing and grabbing for these courses and stuff. So as long as I just keep it updated, keep it somewhat responsible for the trends, I'm trying to just do the best that I can. But thank you again, man. That means a lot. Okay, so we got our first one. Let me go ahead and turn him off. Now, for kind of the first scene, we have to make some elements. I think the first time I did just regular shapes. I just did shape layers. So let me turn off that signing contract, have him back. And I'm going to try and match what I have on screen. So let me actually grab this. It's called before. Put it on screen just so I can try and match it. Scale this puppy up. And then I'm going to put everything in a 3D space and kind of go from there. I'll start lining things up. Control A, motion blur, 3D space. Okay, for all these, let's close these up. Bring in a camera, and then I'm going to put a null layer. Let's do a null layer. Oh, I don't know if you're still here, Jans, but what is your favorite, like, I want some feedback from the course, if you don't mind. Like, anything that stood out to you that you found really helpful, I'd really like to know if you have a minute or two to kind of expand on what you like about it. Because I'm trying to make it the best it is. Audio is good. Yeah, Kyle, I switched from Vegas to... You're Sony Vegas? Woo, you poor soul. Yeah, man, Vegas is rough. But welcome to Premiere. And was able to learn Premiere fast with your course. Now I'm editing for a living while studying. Dude, that's awesome. God, that's awesome. Good for you, man. Glad to hear it. So glad to hear it. All right, what was I doing? Okay, let's go ahead and put this back up. Let's go ahead and scale him up just a tad. Something like that, I think we'll do. Let me go ahead and turn on my views. Start making some separations in these. And then I'll go ahead and move him down. Okay. Something like that is good. Now for the shape layers, I'm pretty sure I did shape layers. I'm going to change the stroke right now. I'm going to turn the stroke off. And then for the fill, I'm going to turn that on, but we're going to use, let's do linear gradient for these two. Kind of this wall that's sitting here. And they don't have to be perfect because in the example, like it's, you know, it's kind of rough, which is totally fine. I kind of like the fact that it is rough. But let's go ahead and start that. So am I at the end? Cool. All right, we're going to do Q on our keyboard. Make sure that we have nothing selected, and I'm just going to click and drag. Okay, something like that. And I can change the direction over here. There's a few different ways. I can open up the rectangle, or I can actually type in gradient, and that'll open everything up as well. And I'm going to move and kind of mess with the start and end point. Make it a little bit more gradual. Okay, something like that. And then I can always turn it around if I need to. But in this case, let me just start lining it up and put in 3D space. And then I'm just going to quickly move this. All right, something like that. Stretch this out. Now we kind of have a floor. Let me stretch this to the end over here. Something like that. It's not too shabby. Okay, so now we have this piece, and we can see our guy standing on top of it. I can actually put it down a little bit, and let me rename it. So this will be bottom. And then let me go ahead and do my position settings. Let me just move it down ever so slightly. Okay, I think I'm actually happy with it. I think that looks okay. Let's go ahead and do Control D. And then I'm just going to do kind of the same thing. I'm just going to use that X, fade it up. Now, what this is actually modifying is the orientation. So if I go up in here, it's like, oh, what did I change? I changed the orientation. So I could just put that back to 0. And now it's straight up and down again. But this needs to be moved forward. And in that case, that is our Z parameter. So we're just moving it forward. We'll kind of put it at the edge here. And I'm looking right now on our second view. So I'm trying to line that up the best I can just by looking at it. So I can kind of move it around if I need to, but I'm just going to use the Z parameter. See what that gives me right around there. Okay. Looking good. Now, what are the other two? I need to get these two shapes. So it's pretty much just 2 more of those. I'm going to rename this before I move forward. I'm going to rename it. This is going to be top. I guess top and bottom. That's good enough, right? All right, then I'm going to make one more, and this is going to be our background for now. So I'll go ahead and put these behind everything. And then I'm going to take this off of 3D just so it fills the space, but I'm likely going to make it 3D and then scale it up. I'm just having it there just so it's there. Okay, let's go ahead and make those other two. I'm going to make a quick little shape here and just try and match it the best I can. Nothing too crazy. Not trying to get too technical. Raise it up, make it 3D. Okay, this is going to be my first one. And this one's going to be forward. So we need to move on our second view. We need to move this up. So we're starting to create some depth. All right, so this will be a square one. And then I'm just going to go ahead and move this up. So there's kind of a little bit of magic that's happening in this. So when it gets to the second scene is what I'll dub it. So the camera's moving up. And then this shape is actually covering this corner. And there's new, never mind. I thought there was another update. But at this corner, once it turns, then the next layer goes in. So it's kind of running into this shape. So that's something to keep in mind. But anyway, all right, let's go to our position settings. Let me move this forward just so it's in front of our person. Move it forward a little bit more. And then I'm just going to kind of mess a little bit with the angle ever so slightly. And then just a quick quiz of what we just talked about. What am I actually moving here in terms of the parameter? I'm actually moving the orientation when I'm messing with these parameters. Now I say that, but the orientation is being messed with when we modify the ball that is on this 3D tool. Now if we move the Z parameters from the arrows, that's going to move the position and the anchor point. No, I totally lied. That point of interest. Point of interest is what I should have said. But yeah. That's on the camera, but on this, now if I move the X, what's happening here? We're moving the position. Sorry, that is true for the camera. All right. So I'm trying, now we're on there. Okay. So I need to kind of take note that this is starting here, and as the camera moves forward, it's kind of moving up at a slight angle as it turns in, and then it runs into the square. So I just have to keep that in mind. Okay. All right, as far as placement, I think that's okay for now. Something like that, I think will get us started. All right, then one more. Let's do, honestly, your teaching style is really good and easy to understand. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know what problems are when trying to learn Premiere, for example, from a noob's perspective. That means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, I know that I have to, like, I know that I don't have to completely redo the first few sections of the course because I feel like they're pretty evergreen for what the software is, but there has been a good amount of updates. So there is some other things I could add on to it. I just have to get to that place because it's like, well, I feel like people are kind of are maturing to more advanced techniques, so I'm trying to keep up with that as well. So, but yeah, thank you so much. And I spelled square wrong. Imagine that. All right, so I'm gonna scoot this over, and then I'm gonna move this one back. So I want to make sure that both of these Z parameters are a little bit different. So I'm just gonna open those up, but I am going to toggle this and move this backward. So now I can see on my 3D view, hey, here's this square, and here is our person. Now this square needs to be in front of our person. So that's what I'm accomplishing right now. And I'll go ahead and kind of tilt this, trying to get something similar to what looks on our example. I think I'm fine with that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take away the background and see how well this looks, or like how good this looks. Go ahead and do control and everything. Turn this off. Turn off the sound for now. All right, so I definitely need to move the top here. We use position. I'm just gonna move this up because I had it lined up. It was just a matter of getting it right where those corners hit. Okay, and then I need to stretch this, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Zoom in a bit. Move it straight up. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Moving it up and out of frame. I think that's good. And then I have to kind of take note of where that's landing, so I'm just going to move it up. I'd rather it be long on the top side than the bottom side. Okay, now I kind of have that corner. All right, I think that's looking pretty good for right now. It's not bad. Okay, let's go ahead and start making some movements with the camera. Like I said, I'm not going to try and be too crazy with this. Where is our background? I think this is our background. I need to rename that. Always rename your stuff. It's crazy to think how much effort people do in order to make shorts like the one you're editing versus the whole. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know why people want to do things like this. Like, they look cool, but from a business and ROI perspective, I feel like it's a weird opportunity or a weird niche to try and market, because if I know editors, which I am one, we don't know how to value ourselves, so we will probably charge something like this for a price that doesn't make any sense. So I know that there's people going to be out there that get really good at this, and guess what they're going to charge? They're going to charge nothing. Or they'll be convinced to charge nothing. I should really put it that way, because I've been convinced that I haven't brought enough value, or I don't do enough on the editing end many times. And I mean, that was the whole reason why I started making content, was that I don't want people to be like me. Like, I've undervalued so many projects over the years, and I'm really lucky to be in the position that I am. And it's still hard. Like, these past 3 or 4 months have been the hardest I've ever gone through. And I don't know. The landscape is still ever evolving. It's always going to change. So it's really hard for me to like put out content where that isn't going to change in a few months, you know, like our most, for example, like our most viewed video on our channel is outdated, but it kills in search and like SEO. When you look up like the method, our video comes up and it's like, ugh, I wish this was like updated, or I wish I could switch it out. It's funny how YouTube, you can't just switch things out. But anyway, I'm preaching to the choir here. I feel you on that one. Thanks, man. Yeah, the price tag for these types of videos must be nutty, but who has the money for them? Yeah. And like, I mean, power to the people that have the money for it. I think it's awesome to find a client like that. And those clients, like, man, they're hard to find sometimes. And I say that from experience. All right, so we got our size right now. Oh, I need to move this backward. Goodness gracious. Oh, my soapbox. All right, move this way back. And then so I don't lose any kind of quality, so to speak. Oh my goodness. Nat. Anyway. What am I doing? Size. Yeah, size. And then I'm bumping this up. Bumping them up. Okay. Awesome. I might make this a different shade so it doesn't blend in. Let me turn off gradient for this one to radial. All right, there's a little bit more depth. Let's just do solid color. Let's do like a radial, but I'm gonna change the color of this. I'll make it like a, I don't know, a brighter purple, maybe, a darker purple, something like that, like a pastel. I don't know if I like that. Let's do a solid color and do like a pastel. We'll use that for now. And then I'll use a light to kind of cast some shadows afterward, but I'm still trying to make this somewhat fast. Okay, position, where are we at right now? 1026. Okay. All right, looks good. Now for this, where's my background? I think that's where I'm getting tripped up here. Position. My background is... Oh, my background's way back here. Okay, good. All right. Thinking too hard on this. All right, let's go ahead and start making some camera movements. Let me make some a few markers here. All right, I think it was around the 21 frame mark. Great. I'm gonna make a marker. Then we're turning. Turning completes around here. So we'll do 204. And we'll start with that first movement. All right, so we're coming in. Use the starter keyframe on the... I'll go ahead and just make both keyframes. All right, but I'm coming in, and I might have to move the position up a bit. Let me just do that from the start. Okay. Because I want this to kind of hit this corner. Then we're coming forward. We are coming forward. Okay, so I need this to be... I think I need it to be bigger. Okay. Bigger and maybe closer. That might be the case for this one. Let's do position. I think that might be better. Okay. Scoot it over a bit. Goodness. Because I need it to cover this. Scoot it down a little bit. There we go. Okay, I think that's a little bit better because now I can start that. All right. So once we get here, let's go and start that Z rotation. I'm going to try and keep everything on this null. Let's see if I can actually do that. Would you say making content about your services, like editing a good way to get more clients? I've been thinking about it for a minute, but just haven't had the time for. Would you say making content about your services, like editing a good way to make? Yes. So what was interesting about me was when I made these first few tutorials, they popped off, and I could not really the only time I got to replicate it was with the Ali Abdaal stuff. And the thing about the Ali Abdaal stuff was that, I mean, it was still complicated, but it was still doable. Okay, what am I trying to say here? So first thing is when I started with these tutorials, I got people wanting me to edit. So it was basically lead generation, which was cool. Like I didn't think that would be like a real way to get more clients, but it was. So if you're thinking about making making content to get more clients, I think it's a great way. And like, I know that I talk about that in the course too, because that's what it did for me. Like, I got to work with a few people just because they saw me on YouTube. Yeah. So I would say go for it, dude. Do it. Talk about it. Cause I think Now, I think the advantage is that if you put yourself on the content, I think it makes it far more valuable. Because they're actually talking to someone. They're not just talking to like someone editing on a screen. You know, like I'm still in the corner, still a person, like doing this thing. Like I think that's a good way to connect to someone that potentially wants to work with you. But, you know, that's all my opinion. I'm going to make this a little bit darker. School and client work really keeps me busy. Yeah, I'm sure. But maybe during the summer, I'll start my own content. I live in Finland, so the competition is quite small. Okay, because it's a small country. Yeah, I think that's really cool what you've done with your channel content. Thanks, man. I mean, it's always changing. It's really, you know, it's like, do we chase the trends? Like, what are we really chasing here? You kind of have to make decisions. And I haven't got them all right. Like, I decided to go on Instagram for a few months, and I feel like I shot myself in the foot because, like everything fell off in terms of views and in terms of like people actually purchasing the course. So I was like, well, I should have just stayed on YouTube. Like, I'm long-winded as is, so I should have just stayed here. But, you know, it's a learning lesson. I wouldn't have found out anything, or I wouldn't be online if I didn't try something. So I still have that going for me. It's like, well, I mean, I did give it a shot. So, I mean, this summer, if you want to give it a shot, give it a shot, man. Please do it. Because you never know what's going to happen. Like, your video could pop off. Like, I didn't know my video was going to pop off, but it did. And only reason why it popped off is just because I made it. Simple as that. Elamar, your content is always top notch, bro. Thank you so much. Watching from the Philippines. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. How long does it take to learn After Effects if a person really passionate also have the idea of editing? I think you can learn After Effects in 2 days. Straight up. Yeah, if you're really passionate about it, you can learn it in 2 days. There's tutorials out there on YouTube that are really helpful. In my course, I try to bridge the gap if you're a Premiere Pro editor centric. Like, I remember I was in Premiere for years, and as kind of the market, you know, the little editing niche that we're in, they wanted more advanced stuff. So I was like, well, all the advanced stuff is inside of After Effects. It's in the name. So I was like, well, I guess this is a perfect opportunity for me to finally learn After Effects. And I tried to make it in a way to where it relates to those people that are very used to using Premiere Pro. That's exactly the strategy that I did. And so there's a whole module in there that bridges the gap, and I explain everything that you see on the screen. Everything you see on the screen, I explain all of it. And then the next new module is with Houston Cold, and I broke down one of his reels, and that is pretty much all After Effects focused. So, but yeah, I think it'll take you 2 days if you're really big on it. Your edit is too similar to Vez style. Is too similar to Vez style. Big respect. I don't know who that is, but thanks. I think. Thank you. True that. It's always worth it. Takes a shot. Yeah, man. I swear Adobe could make AE so much easier to use if it was more similar to Premiere. Yeah, once you understand what's happening in both of them, you kind of start to understand why there's different programs. It's like, oh, like, this is for effects. This really isn't for short form content, in my opinion. Like, to do the animations, you have to do it inside of After Effects. To do the video editing, actual video, oh man, I talked about this on the last live. Like, we have to distinguish what video editing is going forward as editors. We have to. We must. Because we're blurring the lines of video editing by doing these. Because, like, this is motion design and motion graphics. This is what we're doing right now. You know, yeah, I'm sure I'm getting this wrong or someone's screaming at me through the screen, but it's like, this isn't video video editing is cutting up something and trying to tell a story in some way. Like, all of these animations, that's an entirely different skill set. We're in an entirely different program right now. Like, we can't keep blurring the lines for things like this, because like we keep running the price to the ground, and it's like, guys, how sustainable can this be if we're charging $10? It's not, like, it is not sustainable if we're charging that. So, but yeah, I didn't know I was going to preach this much, but I don't care. Like, you guys need to know what is on my mind, because I'm a part of this community. I'm in it as much as you guys are, I promise. And I mean, that's the truth of the matter, man. Like, we have to be advocates for ourselves, because people aren't going to stand up for you. You have to stand up for yourself. And I keep learning that lesson over and over again. So, cautionary tale for me. All right, so I'm cutting this so I can go through this, and here we go. All right, so far so good. I do need this to come a little bit further. So I think it's going to end around here. So we'll see if I can make this a Rove keyframe. I think Aiden joined us last time, and he actually gave me that tip. I was like, oh yeah, why didn't I do that? So I'll probably do that again. Okay, just making sure my dog's sleeping. All right, I think we're good there. So on these first two, I'm going to go ahead and do F9, and then, okay, let's see where that brings me. I know it's probably going to pop out and stop. That's fine. I need to do F9 on these. Now, this might be a Rove, but we'll see. I mean, I'm actually not hating it. So if I actually go ahead and do this, we can do keyframe assistant, Rove across time. So now I can kind of play with where that keyframe is going to be, and I'll just kind of speed this up and see where that brings me. That's not terrible. It's just a different movement. It's happening a little bit too soon than I want. Okay, so if I went back to something like this, I could crank this up, move this out. This might be like a really drastic drop off. Let me see if I can smooth this out. No, because I want this to be, I want this to happen pretty fast. Going in. I want it to be faster. I'm gonna crank up that value. Because like I don't mind it stopping, but I do not want that. I need to change the rotation. I might have to stagger these, but I'm only going to spend another 2 minutes on this, and I'm just going to try and go into the next one. Sure. That's not that great. Okay, instead of it doing that, let's stretch it out. Or maybe, okay, wait, let me see where these keyframes are. I mean, it's kind of where I want it. Okay, at 10:39, I'm not messing with this anymore. Womp. I think I'm fine with it. Quite honestly. All right. How does Bart VFX do his neon lights and tracking them? I have some of his transition. He has free transitions. His neon light. I'm trying to think of his transitions that I got. Let's see here. Inspiration clips. Where's Barty? Scenes. They weren't in there. AC footage? Nope. Where are you, Bart? Because I cut all these film burns. I might have put them somewhere else. I thought it was in here. Slow motion. No, those aren't it. Anyway. Yeah, he has some transitions. That's what I'll say there. And I think he sells some assets too. I don't know how he makes them. Short answer. I would look into. I'm pretty sure he uses Red Giant for some of his stuff. similar to Houston Cold. How much does a medium level editor should charge for 60-second short form without animation? I would say whatever you're comfortable with. Do you want to get paid $50? Do you want to get paid 60, 70, 80? I would try and work out some sort of deal to where you're going on something that's results driven. So what does your client care about? Do they care about views? Do they care about exposure? Are they trying to sell something? It's much easier to work with someone that's trying to sell something. It's a lot harder to work with someone if they're chasing views, because there needs to be some sort of thing behind that. Like, hey, what is the result that we're aiming for? You're not looking to get paid for your clips. You're looking to get paid for results. And then people will talk about, well, you're getting paid for value. It's like, okay. Value is different for everybody. You just have to figure out what that is for that person. Okay. Let's do the text layers. This is super easy. Text layers, what is it? You see a vision. Okay. So that has to go in between. So if I'm looking on my top-down view, I know that it needs to be somewhere between here. Or maybe even behind the square. All right, so let's do Control T. We're going to do U, C, A, and then Vision. Okay. Going to go ahead and align that before I make it 3D. Oh, shouldn't have done that, but all right. So top side I think is Montserrat, whatever. And then I'll make that extra bold. And then for the vision, I'm going to bump it up. And then I'm going to stretch it out. Stretch it out. All right, move this down with the leading. I didn't notice that the top ones, that's why it looked a little bit different. Top one was already stretched out. Do 100. Tab 100. There we go. Wow, I'm going to really have to bump that up. Check my... Oh, I think it's someone outside. My dog was like, what's going on? It's like, I'm looking for you. You tell me. All right. Oh, let me just move this. I'll just handle it. All right, something like that. Let's make it 3D, motion blur on that thing. And then let's go ahead and transform. Move this position back. So like I said, I want it... I don't know. I don't even know if it needs to be behind that. Yeah, it does. It does need to be behind that. So I'm just going to move it. So I can see in my 3D, guess what? It's sitting right there. Oh, son of a gun. Shouldn't have moved that far. But there's where we want it. I'm going to bump it up a little bit more. I can do that with scale. Or size, really doesn't matter. Well, I guess it kind of matters because it's like, well, if I scale it up, it might not look as clean, but let's do something like that. I'm fine with it. And as far as the text animation, I'll give you a guess. What's happening? What's happening on this text animation? It's fading line by line. Oh. So what are we going to do? We're going to type in fade. And let's see what we got. Fade up, lines. There it is. Drag and drop. How easy is that? And we're going to do U. See those keyframes, and then we're going to move these. Put my playhead, or time indicators, as I should say. And then let's get an idea of when this is stopping. It's coming in. It stops at the 23 mark. So I'm on the 23 mark. Scooting that. Now we should have that animation. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So over here, I don't think I have any sort of linear motion going on. Or I have a linear motion here. Let's see what these look like. Yeah, this ain't going that far. It's just kind of coming in. I actually like that. That looked pretty clean. Classic Montserrat. Yeah, I know. The world uses it. Your insights in this field are valuable and greatly appreciated. Thank you for sharing them, bro. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Thank you a lot. I'm just another editor like you, man. I'm trying my best. I don't mean transitions. I was talking about the glowy lights that comes under some text. Oh, okay. If I were to try and do one on this, so in my mind, the first. So I'm not saying that this is right. This is just what comes to my mind. So forgive me if I'm totally wrong on this, but this is what comes to mind. So if I were to make, let's say, a line around this layer, right? I think this layer's sitting. Where is this layer sitting? Or let's just make one. Hey, hope you're doing good. Thank you, Abdallah. Abdallah. I think I said that right. You all right? You good? You good? You want to lay down? You can lay down. It's cool. All right. So if I took the pen tool, and I made a nice little movement here. All right. So that's technically a path or whatever, but I'm going to take off the fill. I'm going to turn on stroke. Right. So, or I'm going to turn on stroke. Let's do like white. All right. Turn this on. I'm going to bump this up so we can really see it. All right. So this is happening. I believe what he's doing. And thank you, Nitesh. That is exactly what I'm doing. In terms of like why I'm using a null, but I'll go ahead and walk through that after I answer this from Sod. All right, so if I open this up, we're going to add an animation, and I believe it's something like this. I believe it's just trim paths. We open up trim paths, and then if we see the start and end, we now have an animation. You see that animation going around? So I believe he's doing that. So it's some sort of, if I turn, let me turn everything off. Hold up. Let me turn all these off. Let me just do this for a second. All right, so I believe he's doing this. He's doing start, and then the animation happens, right? It's probably really fast, so let's do 100. I should have flipped those, so I'm going to flip them. Reverse keyframes. Okay, so we have this animation, right? How great is that? And then we can throw glow on it. Blah, blah, blah. What am I doing? Putting that on there. Let's go ahead and mess with the glow. All right, we have something like that. Great. And then you can mess with those keyframes. You do F9, smooth everything out. You can mess with the size of the stroke. So I'm sure that he uses something a little bit different, but over here in your shape properties, you have options. You can have a round tip. So you see how these are really jagged? They're squared off. That's because it's on butt. Yes, it is on butt cap. But if you move it to round, it's a little bit rounded out now. And then there's also projecting. So you see where it stops, right? You see where this stroke line stops here? Now, if I do projecting, it actually goes a little bit further out, but it goes back to that butt cap. But so you can kind of see where those are. And then as far as the line join, you see how these joins are really jagged? That's where this next parameter comes in. So we have same thing. We have, well, it's kind of the same thing. We have miter, round, and then bevel. So now it's a little bit, what do you call it? Smoother. So now we have something like that. Let's look at that animation. Yeah. I believe that that's what he's doing. And then you can copy those keyframes, Control V, time reverse those. So it's something that's coming in and out, right? So, hey, it's coming in, it's coming out. There you go. So yeah, he's just creating that path with a pen tool, animating with line path, and then that's what I would do. So that's my first thought of what he's doing. But he's just, he's cranking it down. So in this case, we have a really, for this example, I just bumped it up a lot, but you could have it something real slim. That might look a little bit more cleaner. But yeah, there you go. Take that off and keep moving forward. Damn, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah, man. That's why I'm here. Why I'm here. I see. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, so as far as the null, I'll go ahead and get a quick masterclass on this. I say masterclass. It's not that. All right, let me hide everything just so I can have a clear conscience. All right, so I have this camera, right? So the big benefit for this camera, and let's go ahead and walk through the settings, is that on the transform, we have point of interest. Point of interest is actually this anchor point right here. So we have our X parameter, our Y parameter, our Z parameter. Oh, what's the Z parameter? Well, we have a little indication of what we're using right here. So the Y is going to go vertically. the X is going to go horizontally, and the Z is going to go forward and backward in a three-dimensional space, right? So point of interest, same deal here. So let me put something out here. Let's put a quick little shape layer. All right, have this shape layer. Let's make this a solid. Turn the fill on. Okay, so I have the shape layer, right? Let me put it in a three-dimensional space. So with the camera, I can move forward with our position. So our position setting, same thing, X, Y, Z. So I can move the camera forward, right? We're getting closer to the object. We can see the field, we can see the view of the camera. But the point of interest is exactly what we are looking at from this anchor point. So we can extend it out. Doesn't really make a difference to what we're seeing on screen, right? This is our active camera. This is our top view. We can see those from the indicators. And now when I'm moving the point of interest around, you can see that it's kind of anchored on that shape, right? You see how it's anchored and kind of gliding across that layer? So if we have something in front of it, we can say, oh, okay, I want to make sure that the point of interest is there. Because now when I use my X and Y, I can kind of shift. And you see how that perspective changes? I can shift around that layer. So that's what the two-node camera is doing. It has this extra parameter. Now, why am I bringing in a null? So like Nitesh, sorry, I know I'm butchering y'all's names. Like you said, it is easier to control the camera with a null. It kind of simplifies the process. So if I were to null, oops, didn't mean to do that. So if I were to null, bring out the null, and then I pick whip it to the camera, or you could also parent it. So it's like, hey, I want null3 to be your parent. Now we can open it up. Let's go ahead and line these up just so it's not too confusing. I'm gonna make it a 3D layer. And now, as I move this position, let's go ahead and show you the difference. Let me reset this. Oops. Reset this. What did I have this? Let me just go back. There we go. Let's do a null. I just got a text. What was that? Anything important? Crazy? Better than that? Okay, great. All right, so moving to the null, we're making it 3D. We're bringing it down just so it's kind of simple on the timeline. Same kind of thing here, except you'll see that in the position for the camera, things are kind of zeroed out just from looking at it. It's like, okay, so the camera's position is starting at this imaginary negative 1500 that's sitting here, right? That is what the camera is actually seeing, this field of view. So with my transform or my position, let's go ahead and see the difference here. So if I move this, it's kind of shifting around the point of interest. But if I do the same position movement, oh, now I'm going side to side. So I believe it's a lot easier to navigate the 3D camera with both of these parameters in place because you can play around with more complex movements. And I feel like we're so used to using the X and Y coordinates to go everywhere in a two-dimensional space. Once we get into a 3D space, we're like, okay, we know that this is going forward, right? But I just want to go to the left. Well, why is it shifting like that? No, I want to go to the left. We're able to do that with the null. So it's like we're getting additional settings, and it's a little bit simpler to start out with. I hope that helps. There you go. Okay, let's take all these off. Get back to what we were working on. All right, open up Shy Guy. There we go. Control A, bada boom, everything is on. I'm gonna make sure all these aren't shy. There we go. Okay, back here, we have what, 2 text layers? It says like 6 months, so we're just gonna change the source. All right, we have this coming up. Where's that starting? That's starting at 202. Let's make a nice little marker here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these markers. Delete this marker, delete this marker. Thank you for the clear explanation, Kyle. Thank you. I hope that was clear. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for listening. You're welcome, my brother. Yeah, man. Natesh has got you, fourth. All right. So we got 2 text layers. We got 6, and then we'll just change the source settings on it. And I want to make sure the audio's fine. It says it's fine. I just got a blip here, but I think we're good. All right, 6. We're gonna do Montserrat, and then I'll just extendo clip. What did I have before? It was like Babus something. Babus Kai? Babus Kai looks pretty good. Let's just go with that. Bump it up. I could probably stretch it a little bit just to elongate it. There we go. I'm gonna move this down because right now it's in 2D, so I can kind of anchor it while I have it there. So okay, just down right. Okay. All right, so it's moving up, and it is. So it's opacity and position. Is there anything else? That's all it looks like. Opacity and position. So let's mark that in our head. Okay. So this animation is happening 1. Oh wait. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Something like 10. Let's just go with 10. So I'll make this where it stops. Okay. And let's go ahead and do that animation. I'm going to cut this off. And the way that you can have this trim pretty easily is you hold shift and it can snap. I shouldn't say anchor. It can snap to a marker or to your current time indicator. Or as inside of Premiere, it's called your playhead. Okay. Next, I guess I'll just throw glow on just so it's over with. Bump it up. Bump it up. All right, I think I'm fine with that. Okay, let's go ahead and line it up. I'm gonna use my, well, so here's where it gets kind of complicated with 3D layers, is that I now have to go position to where this layer is. So I have to take note, okay, in my little graph here, in my 3-dimensional space, where is this layer sitting? So I can select him, do position, and like, okay, he's sitting way back at 637 pixels. So I'm gonna tell my text layer, hey, I need to send you way back to 637 at the very least, because he's actually gonna be behind. So I need to also find what I did with the other transform parameters. So in this case, I use orientation. And then let me take a look at, because I know that I'll have to shift this at some point. All right, so right now it's sitting right here. Where's this signing contract? He's right here. So it's just to the side if I'm looking. And then if you're kind of getting lost of where these layers are, you can always move around. So if I am inside of my composition, I can hold spacebar, and I have this hand tool pop up. The hand tool is over here, but you can hold spacebar to navigate around and see where everything is, right? Anyway, just a tip. So in this case, 6 is way down here. I need to move him. So I'll just move him manually. And it looks like I do have to shift him 90 degrees, which is fine. Because guess what? That's going to match that signing contract image. And then if you want these are in the drive. These were given to me by Ivan Khan. Yeah, so you can find those in there. I'm just going to orient it 90 degrees. And there we go. Go ahead and move this around. Use that hand tool. There we go. So, I mean, for a lot of quick navigation, you can use the 3D tool here, like I'm using it. Makes it easy. So I'm already seeing, oh, I have them lined up on the same parameter, right? They're both at 637. I need to scoot this one back. There we go. Something like that. I think looks good. Bring it up a little bit. I said I wouldn't be I said I wouldn't be picky about this, and I'm being picky about it. So I'm going to try to stop. Okay, so that's the first one. I said position and opacity. I think that's right. So we have the animation clocked out, which is good. So we're going to see, all right, we're going to animate the position, and we're going to add, what's the other one? Everyone, opacity. We're going to add opacity. Okay, so we're starting at 0. Or actually, let me start those keyframes. We're doing our offset. And then the offset is going to complete at 100%. Perfect. And now we're telling, hey, the opacity, go ahead and turn off. But I'm going to go in the middle, somewhere around the middle, and I'm going to say, hey, also, we need this position to move down vertically. Something like that, right? 400 pixels, I think that looks good. And then now, what did we ask it to do? We're going up. So we're going up vertically, and we're fading in. That looks good. So now I can do a few things so it doesn't look so robotic. We're going to open up advanced. All right, Kyle, got to head outside right now. It was a good stream. Thanks, man. Hope you keep doing these later. Of course. Of course. Thank you, man. Have a great day. All right, so I'm going to do ramp down. Now, in this case, the offset now has to be at negative 100. And if you don't know what I'm talking about here, this is the range selector tool. I have an entire masterclass for free on YouTube. Or let's do ramp up. I did that backwards. There we go. What does that look like? Yes, sir. And we're going to ease it. We're going to have it ease. 50, 50. See where that puts us. Bada boom. I think I'm fine with that. Now, I can slow it down. I can if I wanted to. Same thing here. I could say, hey, come in real fast, but slow down. Right? Oh, let me do snapping so I don't have to mess with all that. There we go. Ooh, that is so fast. I don't think I'll do that. Never mind. All right. Can explain what is the meaning of ramp down, ramp up. Oh, yes. Yes, I can, my friend. But I will say, I have an entire masterclass on YouTube that goes through the whole range selector. And I'm very proud of it because I don't think there's anything out there like it. Not to my own horn, but I'm still very proud of that video. So ramp up, ramp down, all of these shapes. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another demonstration. I'm going to hide everything. Oh, well, let me turn everything off. Hide everything. Kedar Khan. What's good, man? Good to see you. Hello to you. Go ahead and hide these. So if I have a text layer, let me make this easy. Or I didn't mean to do that. I want camera 1, active, default. Okay, that's fine. Whew. Okay. So if I have a text layer and I want it to animate, right? So let's just do text. Go ahead and line it up. I have the options to animate text layers inside of After Effects. We'll check out Masterclass later. Thanks, man. So let's do something like a position parameter. It's gonna show us what's really happening, and I'm gonna make a duplicate of this. Duplicate. I'm gonna take this off because I'm gonna use this for an example. I'm gonna make a bunch of periods, and this is gonna illustrate you what's actually happening here. Let me bring these down so I can make more. All right, with the range selector, if I open it up, you know, we have these options and all. We can animate from all of these parameters. There's all kinds of options and again, I please go check out the masterclass. So here with the animator, oh, I already made one. Let me take that off. So with the animator, we're doing a position. If I open this up, I'm going to say there's a start to end. So in our range selector, think of it as an actual like spectrum. It is a range of numbers. It's a range of letters, characters. That's what it is reading. So I have this range full of characters, right? If we open down advanced, we have different modes. We have this based on. So we could tell the software, hey, this animation, I want it to be based on characters. It can be based on characters without spaces. It could be based on words. It can be based on lines. So we have options. So I'll go ahead and show a few examples, but for the shape, this is the most fun, and this was a breakthrough for me to figure out. So the shape, you're actually telling the range selector to put a shape and move it across the range. Like that's what you're doing. And it's kind of crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and make an offset. So when you're using an offset, this is, look, so you see these selectors? These are your range selectors. right? So the start is this first point, and the end is this second point. So the start is at 0 at our range. It doesn't matter how big the range is. Oh, wait. Oops. Sorry. It doesn't matter how big it is. It's always going to be this is 0 and this is 100. But the offset, you're saying, hey, go ahead and start moving through this range, right? So most of the animations are going to be done with the offset, or at least when I use them. I very rarely use the start and end, but sometimes I do. All right. And once you get deeper, you'll find situations to where you don't have to use the offset, but that's neither here or there. Okay. So I'm going to say in 1 second, we're going to go through the range 100%. So now we're seeing the offset work through the range. Now, let's move the position. I'm moving the position down, right? What is happening now? Well, imagine there's a square going through this range. Yes, there's a perfect square going through this range. Okay, well, what about, let's say a well, okay. So I need to preface this. So the square, most of these animations are when you're going to use the offset at 0 to 100%. For the rest, for ramp up, ramp down, triangle, round, smooth, you're going to tweak the offset to negative 100. And I'll show you why here in a second. So if we crank this to ramp up, well, we're just adding a ramp. Look at that, a ramp that starts up. So this ramp, it's not going like, okay, let's go ahead and watch the animation. It's moving through it. There's a ramp, and it's just going across. Nothing's moving, it's just going across. Okay, so what about ramp down? Well, now we have a ramp that's just removing itself, right? It's still moving, but the ramp, you can literally see the shape of the ramp, and it's moving through it. Okay? What about triangle? Well, guess what? There's a triangle going through this thing. How cool is that? And then we have round. Well, now there's this round shape, kind of like a circle. So now we're getting these different animations, right? And then lastly, smooth. It's kind of like a bell curve, but it's like an oval shape moving through it. So you'll see that with all of these, the only one that started was square. Like this actually started at the beginning. Everything else started halfway. So that's why we have the offset, so we can actually offset the range selector to make the movement. So now that ramp is going through it all the way through. It's not starting with the shape right in the middle of it. So there you go. And then you have ease high and ease low. Ease high is, I don't want to get this wrong, but again, check out the masterclass. I believe ease high is ease in. So that's going to be your second keyframe. And then ease low is ease out. So that's going to be your first keyframe. And then you can, you can modify those. So you can do it at 50. It goes from 0 to 100. I'll do 50-50. And then you'll see how smooth that is. Ooh, look how beautiful that is. Now, what if I take these off? It's all right. But when you add, oh, did I do it? But when you add some easing, it smooths it out tremendously. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And then you can compound it with the actual keyframes themselves. You can still modify these. Womp. Look at that. But it's, oh man, there's so many options. There's so many options. I was so happy that I finally understood this. But again, go through the masterclass. That was something that I did not want to gatekeep in some way. The world needs to actually understand what's happening with this freaking tool. So, so that was a gift to the community, of course. All right, let's get back to it. Oh, it's already 11:09. All right, guys. I got a little bit under an hour, and I gotta hop off. Okay, I do need to get past because on the first two, Man, we were doing all kinds of other stuff. Okay, because like I want to get through this. Oh, I didn't even show you on the text layer, but that gave you a pretty good explanation of what the range selector does. Okay. All right, where are we at right now? Oh, let me take this off. All right, so we're somewhere around here. We're moving. We've got one of our text layers going as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cheat. I'm going to do Control D. And then this one is going to be, let me turn this off. This one is going to say months. Months? But this is doing something different, right? This doesn't need the range selector / animator because it's doing something different. I don't even think we need it, really, so we can take it off. So now it's just sitting there. But it's a different animation altogether. It's just sliding in, I believe. Yep, just sliding in. I could do... No, I'm not going to overthink it. Not going to overthink it. Let's bump it down. Let's bump this down. And we'll get the positioning right. Doesn't need to be crazy accurate. All right, and let's go ahead and move it down. Go to my selection tool. Move it down. All right, I think I'm happy with something like that. And then we'll make a quick animation. And I'm just going to use the regular transform settings. And really try not to over-engineer this. Okay, I think I'm going to do it anyway, whatever. Okay. I can't help myself. So it's going to end there. I should have made that keyframe. Okay. So we're starting off from the left. Oh, oops. I got to remember that it's at 90 degrees here. All right. Something like that I think I'm fine with. I'll go ahead and do F9, modify. Can someone remind me what that plugin is? Like, you have all the easing settings in one little panel. I don't remember what it is. All right, so this is coming in, and I'll do the same thing with opacity. So on my keyboard, I'll do T with the motion 3. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, for whatever reason, I totally messed up the install process, and I'm afraid I like messed it up for my computer, but I'll try again when I have time at some point in my life. Okay, so we're starting at 0. And then let me make sure I get these keyframes right. Yeah, it's just those markers. And then 100. So now this should be coming in. Woo! Those are a little bit too fast, but I kind of don't care. All right, so we're coming in here, and then we're going to cheat with a film burn. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, I need to change the numbers. 6 months. Okay, changes to 12. Okay, new marker. Let me take these out. Okay. So there's 12. Let's keep going forward. Oh, 18. Okay, that's 320. Okay, marker there. So those are the changes. So over here in 6, we'll open up the source text. So we'll go ahead and make the first keyframe. Oh, oops. Let's move the first keyframe to the top. And then when it gets to here, we're saying, hey, change to... You doing okay? My dog's coming to say hi. Hi, Nutla. Hi. You bored? You look bored. Okay. All right, we're changing this to 12. And then we're going to that next marker. We're changing that to 18. I might actually modify this camera real fast. God, I'm just too picky for my own good, aren't I? Okay. We're moving through. Let me take this out. Just a smidge. All right. I think I'm fine with that. All right, let's go ahead and look. I'm not mad at it. It's a little quick for my taste, but I don't know if I care. By the way, how much RAM do you have? Looks like your PC is doing very good. Thanks. It's Flow. Okay, I'll check both of those out. Michael, I'm using it every day, much easier than Graph Editor. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. By the way, how much RAM do you have? Looks like your PC. Oh, I have 64. But I don't even think I need that much. I mean, I'm streaming right now and doing After Effects. Uh, like we're cruising at 46. We're cruising pretty good. But yeah, my go-to, like if you're starting out, I would advocate that you get 16 gigs and then eventually upgrade to 32. And at 64, like I just like having a lot of programs open. I knew I was going to start streaming at some point, so I did want a good bit of RAM, especially if I was going to be streaming like 3D stuff like I'm doing right now. But yeah, and again, like make your PC. I can't stress that enough. Make your PC. Laptops are only good for 5 or 6 years. Don't care who you are. Don't care who you buy. I stand by the fact that it is so much better to build your own PC or have someone help you build it. Such a cool experience to do so. Gives you some of that pride, and it's like, hey, I can always upgrade this thing. Literally always. All right. Go ahead and select everything. Do Control-Shift-E. And then I'm going to grab everything and delete it. And now we're going to cheat with a film burn. Let's drop one of these in here. Bada boom. Okay. And then I'm going to speed it up with stretch. Speed this up. And that will lead us into our next one. I got to do screen. So, because this is our dark, this is our light. So, or I think I had that. No. I think I had that right. So these are our light modes. So when there is a dark background, you can take it away with the light blend modes. I think I'm saying that right. Okay. And then we're doing 3D. Oh, actually, we don't even have to make it 3D. We can do, what am I looking for? Rotation. 90. All right, so that covers it up. So now, boom. Yeah. All right, so moving on. But it's just as you're about to reach your goal. Okay, how am I going to do this one? I think I'm going to use the same confident back one. Is this? I don't want to create this asset. That's for sure. I wonder if what I downloaded has something like that. Wait, why do Control-Shift-D? Why not Alt bracket? You can also do that as well. I didn't want to. Well, I guess I could have done that as well. Yeah, you can do both of them because it just clips it, right? I think it just clips it. Huge thanks for text animation masterclass. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, that was a gift to the community, for sure. Like everyone deserves to understand what text animations are, and once you practice and go through that masterclass, anything you see, media, commercials, like everyone's using the range selector. All the motion designers are using range selectors. Yeah, because like now you can't unsee it. Once you go in the masterclass, like I see it in everything now. Like every commercial, I'm like, oh, position, opacity. Oh, they use fill color. Oh, okay, yeah. Like like you can start picking apart any like text animations you see after you go through that. So it'll ruin you, but hey, it's like, hey, I can replicate that. Something that is being played on TV right now, I can replicate that. And I feel like that gives you a lot of confidence as an editor. Okay. But just as you're about to reach your goal, man, I don't know if I have a staircase like this. If anyone wants to try and find this staircase, let me know. But let me see what I have in here. I have a building. I have a landscape. That looks kind of cool. But the staircase kind of sells it, if we're being honest. Podium. I don't think I have one. Spotlight. Sleepless. Street intersection. Okay. Okay. Another one. Reach your goal. Huh. I don't know. I'm just going to replicate what I'm seeing on screen right now. But just as... I'm so proud of my dog right now. She's doing so good. I'm trying not to say her name so she just like stays asleep before the stream ends. Okay. 0. Okay. So just as, and then we have what? Where is black italic? Okay. It's black italic. Then we'll go to, I think I can get away with having this on the same line. You're about to, okay. Don't need this to be italicized. Black, and I believe this is bold. I think that's right. Let's change the leading here. Squeeze these up. Something like that. Let me line it up. Go ahead and shrink the size. Hopefully she just lays in her bed. You can lay down. You're good. Bold. Why is this still... What am I missing here? Montserrat. Bold. Hello. Okay, whatever. Why are you doing this? Okay, whatever. It's there now. Let's go ahead and shrink this up. I'm just gonna make another text layer. Okay, reach your goal. It's a little off kilter, but I think it's fine. Go to Control D. What are y'all working on, by the way? A lot of my clients are still podcast focused right now. I don't have any short form clients at all, because it's kind of a different market, in my opinion. Reach your goal. I don't think this is Montserrat on this bottom one. Let's do like Babus again. Babus. Yeah, we'll do Babus Kai. That's close enough. All right, bump it up. Okay. Bring it down. Move that position. Okay, same thing here. Bottom line. I think I got everything. Doesn't look like it. Now I got everything. Put this down. Okay, looks good. Mess with the leading. All right, feel good about that. So to make this easy on myself, kind of going back to null laters, I can just null these if I need to move it around. Let's do a null object. It's going to be null text. And now I'm going to ask, hey, both of you two are going to be nulls, or null is going to be your parent. So there it is. So now over here in null, I can move around everything. For stairs, you can use a line horizontally and one vertical with repeater. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Okay. Repeater and tweak. Oh, okay. Yeah. Tweak the settings to get the look. Can't explain properly, but I'm trying to say. Okay. I'll give it a whirl. I'll give it a whirl. Thank you so much. All right. And then I'll try that keystroke. Alt bracket. Okay. No, you're right. So alt bracket the other way. Look at that. I know you're bored. I know. You can give him the ball. Give him the ball. Drop it. Okay. All right. Let's get on this. All right, we have 24 minutes. Let's see if I can make stairs in 24 minutes. Okay. All right, this looks pretty good. All right. Okay. Let's take this. Okay, let me get scene 1 out of the way. All those are already shied. Okay, perfect. All right, so we have scene 1. We're coming in. All right, let me get kind of where this is the furthest. Good girl. Come here. Grab it. Grab it. Okay. Somewhere around there. Position. Okay, so like these aren't even 3D yet. I'm just trying to get somewhat in the right spot. Okay, let me turn all these off. Let me see what I can do here. Let me bring back up the example. Turn that on. Oh, I cut it. I didn't mean to cut it. All right. Should be back up. Oh, it was in 3D. Take it off. There we go. Okay, so you're saying you can use a line horizontally with repeater. Use a line horizontally and 1 vertical. Okay, so I'm not... Okay. Oh, I don't want to be a mask. Okay. So I'll go here to here. You said vertical. Let's see if I can go right here. Ah, dang it. Didn't mean to do that. Like I could have made, oh, I don't know. Let's see. Let's just see where this goes. Okay. I'm going to add repeater. So now we're going to the right. Copies. Where's this shape layer right now? I have a feeling I just made a bunch of copies to the right. Transform repeater. Okay. So I'm moving the position. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Start opacity. Okay. Where's my anchor point? Let me bring down these copies. Jeez. All right, let's do 5. Oops, 5. Come on, Kyle. There we go. Okay. I think I know where you're going with this. I'm trying to understand how I can have like this step, but I might just have to make this shape, like I might just have to make another shape. But so with the offset, okay. Position. I feel like that's probably pretty good. If I rotate it, okay, they're all rotating across. What are my transform settings? Okay, I have a skew. That's good. So far, nothing's happening. Okay, now we're actually just rotating. Okay, I feel like this skew might be... All right, that's something. So that's the anchor point, finally. Okay. Where's this text layer right now? Or the shape layer? So I'm not shifting it at all. So if I do something like skew axis from here to here, 1 rotation. Nothing's happening. Yeah, I'm kind of tripped up on skew axis right now. Increase the copies. Okay, yeah, I get that. I don't know, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't know. Let's do like 20. And rotate. Hold on. Wait. Okay, wait. So we're sitting here. I need the perspective to change. Right? I need the perspective to change here. So let me make this 3D again. Where are these position settings? It says they're dead center. How the hell is that possible? Because I cut off the camera, it shouldn't. Okay. I don't know. Okay, let's try this again. Where's my shape? It's saying that my shape is right there. Let me turn this off. I do not see my shape at all. Why is that? Hope I'm not wasting it. No, dude, you're good. This is a good starting point. I'm just trying to figure out like what I'm doing right now. Because I like we're on the right track. I'm just trying to figure out the view. And I might just need to I might need to just make a new camera. Make a new camera. I'm not going to put a null on it just yet. Okay, oops. What? Oh, I did control, oops. Alt bracket. Okay, so we're moving over. Let's do the same thing here, alt bracket. My goodness. Scoot these over. All right. So my camera is here. I'm turning on. I'm losing the position of this, and I'm trying to figure out why. Sad to say, but I give it another chance. Doesn't feel like it. Oh my goodness, man. Okay, position. All right. I see it now. But why am I getting that? Why is it rotated like that? Repeater. I didn't rotate any of these. The anchor point. The position. If I make these 0. I think that's how I got that. Okay. Woo, look at that. That's actually kind of cool. I hope this isn't me saying for the next 30 minutes. Don't use rotation of the repeater. I'm trying to figure out how I can get this perspective, because right now I actually need this to rotate. And I'm like, how can I accomplish that? I think it's just the Z rotation. Okay, so I'm here, but how am I going to change the perspective of this? Because I can technically change it like that, right? I can technically do that, which I think is about as far as we're gonna get here. Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at what this is right now, because I think this is what we'll go with. I'm just trying to see, I'm like, how can I get more intricate with making that staircase shape? Because I think that's what's tripping me up, is that I don't have the shape actually right. This isn't bad. This was perfect. This actually gave me a perfect reference. But I mean, for what we're doing, dude, this is perfect. Like, I have no complaints on this. Okay, something like that. I know it's a little off. Oh mercy, come on. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. All right, hey, for what it is, I know that we can refine this, so I'm happy about that. Thank you so much. All right, let's just name this stair. Let's do stair 1. I might come back to this later. Okay, for what it is, I think it's a good start. I think I can move it a little bit down and give it a little bit more depth. That's not bad. Okay. Whew. What is the next thing? I had the text layer. Let's turn those on. Okay, something like that. It's not bad. I'll make a few more copies. Oh, I need to make these 3D. And I'll move these backward. 3D, motion blur, move these puppies backwards. Everything is still rotated. Everything is still rotated. That's a problem. Okay, this is what I'll do. I'm gonna copy all these. I'm gonna put them in a new comp. That's what I'm gonna do. And then we can put, so this can be our main comp, but this is gonna be scene 2. So let me take these off. So scene 1's there. Right, this is our scene 1. Yeah, I'll have to reevaluate because I mean we turned everything 90 degrees, and I'm like, well, we got rid of the camera, so why is it still there? But I think it's fine. I'll have to figure it out once I put it back in here. Huh? Yeah, that's kind of a head scratcher there. That's fine. All right, so this is scene 2. Something like that. Control V. Great. Take that off. Move all these to the front. Okay, she's right there. All right. Okay. Hello, good morning. Freedy is back. Ladies and gents, Freedy is back. Call your mom. Call everybody. Because Freedy is back. Good to see you, man. Okay, my 0-ish. Put that down. Nope, shouldn't have done that. Okay. Alright, let's move this back. Let's get this staircase in front. Okay, let's get this in front. Man, I really messed up this orientation. I'm just going to reset it. Okay, let's start here. So I'm going to move, we're moving the X, so we need to move on the X parameter. Great. And then we're also moving, we're going to move over. Something like that. Move it down. That's not bad. It's not bad, it's not bad. Okay. Kind of want it to be... So, okay. I could do a bunch of copies. I could, right? That might sell the depth here. Yeah, see? That's probably excessive, but for what it is, I'm like, to achieve something like that, I think I'm fine with that. It's just getting that shape right on that first repeater. I'll have to play with that one, and I'll show what I come up with later, like later on another day. But for what we're doing right now, I have about 20 minutes left. I'm gonna go ahead and move this down. That's not bad, dude. Thank you again. Nitesh, thank you again, man. This is perfect. Might play with the Y or the X a little bit more. Flatten it out. That's not bad. All right, let me get this layer figured out here. Where's it sitting? Where's camera 2 here, man? I wanted my 2 view. What did I just do? I got rid of it? Oh, that's where it's sitting. I need this to be like way in the back. Woo! Moving this back. Okay. Moving it up. Great. As far as size, we're going to bring that up too. And I'm just using the null for this. Like, that's what's making this really seamless, is having these text layers parented to that null. All right, then we're coming up. You want me to throw it? And it's what? It's like right, it's like centered on reach, that A, which is kind of cool from the look. Oh, son of a gun. Didn't mean to do that. Position. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'll do a rectangle right there. Let's do another rectangle. All right, let's bring that in. Make sure I'm not selected on anything. Control A, close all these up. Okay. Bring in kind of like a door. Fill color is going to be, we can make it a gradient. Why not? I didn't mean to make it radial, linear. Okay. And then we'll change kind of the look of it. This one's going to be like a really bright white. This one is going to be kind of a purple. Okay. I'll change the look of that. Start endpoint is fine. Gradient fill. Celebrate with the hey man, thank you. Wow. I don't even know what that is. Thank you so much, Freedy. 29. What is that? I don't even know what that is, man. Thank you so much. I'm waiting for the final look with adjustment layer, glow, noise, and other thing. Thank you so much. That, ladies and gents, we just got our first super. Thank you, Freedy. Sandeep. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Wow. Never thought I'd get one of those. I really appreciate that, man. Let me know if you need help with anything. Try my best out here. I'm waiting for the final look with adjustment layer, glow, noise, and other thing. I mean, I'm not there yet, man. But I mean, I'm gonna keep working on this in the coming weeks. I'm just doing all kinds of different stuff right now. Because our business model is pretty much changing right now. I need to do more freelance work because I know things are just hard for everyone right now. So I have to kind of compensate. I have to do more freelance work than what I do online work. What was I doing? I was doing size here. Let's do size. Drop it. Come here. Okay. It's kind of near the back. Mess with the size. Holy, y'all! Thanks so much. Wow, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know how to do any of these. But Nitesh, thank you. I'm learning so much from your channel. Hey man, I'm learning from you today. Thank you. Dang, like I know I have to get off in like 15 minutes. Okay. Let's see what we can accomplish in that time. Wow. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Goodness. I don't even know what to say. All right, let's go ahead and make this rectangle. Let's do a radial blur. All right, let's go ahead and modify that. Make it centered. Let's kind of bring it down a bit. Or I could do that here. Let's do the size, 1080, 1920. We'll scale it up here in a second, but we don't need stroke. Roundness, we don't need roundness. All right, we do need to, however, mess with... Is this shape layer too? Yes. With the highlight angle. Drop it. Oops. Move that start point. Like that. See if I can move it out. Okay. Nah, I think that's fine. I just have to mess with the actual gradient itself. Okay. But thank y'all for the super chats. Jeez, man. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Where are y'all at? Because I don't even know what currency that is. That is so generous of y'all. Thank you. Holy cow. I don't even know what... You guys got me like all over the place, which is great. Thank you again. All right. Yeah, I gotta figure this out. Move this way back. Way back. Drop it. Let's scale this up. All right, that's a really rough version, but we're getting there. It's Indian rupee. Okay, awesome. Thank you. How cool is that? Thank you all again. I'm just going to create a little bit of depth, but what I could do also... oh, I didn't copy over this asset. Confident back. Control C. Control B. All right. Go ahead and move him. I know it's him kind of walking, but for time's sake, I'm just doing that. All right, let's go ahead and add a few glows here. Let me copy it from that other one. Copy. Okay. What else we got? Noise. I'm gonna do that on, I think this is the background. Always, always, always rename your stuff. Something like 8. And we don't want color noise. Let's do some, yeah, probably 7 or 8 might be fine. All right, brother, can you teach this in Premiere? This is not going to happen in Premiere, bro. I'm going to tell you that right now. Rather make video on Premiere also. Yeah, I mean, there is technically a camera in Premiere, but it's terrible. You're not going to get a similar look. You can kind of cheat your way with basic 3D, but I mean, as far as like using the camera is going to be your best bet in terms of putting something like this together, because you can physically move around the space. Like I can physically move this camera forward and move around the space. Add deep glow, bro. I don't have deep glow. That's out my pay range. Deep glow is like 50-60 bucks. Change the tint and you'll get the same glow. Yeah, I don't have deep glow. And I'm not gonna pirate it. Attempt within deep glow. Yeah, I don't have deep glow. Ha no. Haha. Yeah, like that's why I try it, like with my tutorials, I try not to talk about paid stuff because it's so annoying, in my opinion. Like as a viewer, they're like, hey, I got this really cool look, but I'm using this plugin, or you know, and then you go and look up how much it is, and it's like, we already have to pay for Adobe products as is. Like we have to keep paying for stuff. Anyway, I'm moaning way too loud for all the people in this live right now. Anyway. All right, so what? We're coming back from this. Make a video on Premiere Pro. Also make... Dude, like, you're saying make something like this inside of Premiere? I wouldn't want to, because using the camera is so much easier to do in After Effects, man. Like, it's just easier to do. Let me kind of clean this up. So, like, if I were to do this, you know, within this time limit, one of the things that can kind of get you out of a bind is also using a light. Oh, oops. Is using a light. And just moving this around and messing with the shadow settings, you can get all kinds of looks, like right out the gate. So like right out the gate, you know, I could start moving this around, kind of shifting the view and adding just a little bit of texture of what we're already seeing on screen. So if you, like, this might complicate the edit a bit, but, you know, like, if I'm in a bind, I wouldn't have to mess with this. Like, I could just add a light to add a little bit of depth, and then you can hide it with kind of what Nitesh was talking about. You can add those layers, you can add some overlays. Because I think the main movement on this is, well, for one, there's a little overlay right here. And then there's a small wiggle jitter. So over the camera layer, so if I move this to the bottom, on the camera layer, I could do an adjustment layer. Move that to the bottom. And then I could say, hey, since an adjustment layer affects everything at the bottom, I could do a wiggle effect on that. Or I think I can technically do it on the null too. I might not even have to do that, now that I think about it. Because I'm pretty sure I can just do that, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm saying, hey, use a position, I don't know if it'll let me do it in 3D. What is the channel of the original video? I have no idea. This was sent to me by a student. How to edit like Ali Abdal in Premiere. Can you make a video on this? Is it wiggle or random? Oh, it's technically... Oh, no. I think you can technically do both. So I'll go with... Because it's amplitude and... man, I forgot the parameters. But I could say go left and right 2 or 3 times. Or two times, and I can say go up and down 3 times. And then I think you add random, right? You could do random seed, I don't know, 20. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, no, I can't do that on a 3D layer, can I? Can I do it on a 2D layer? No, I just can't do that. Can't do wiggle. I'm having a brain fart now. Because can I do it on the null? I don't know if I can do it on the null because I already have position keyframes. Maybe the camera. Let's see how flexible this can be. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Because if I do wiggle, because you have to have the wiggle. You have to have the wiggle in place to use random, because you're asking random to randomize, and you have to have something to randomize. So in this case, like, I have wiggle. Does that work? What did I do here? Everything's on. Oh, I'm inside the layer. Jeez. Okay. Let's see if I have a wiggle. Doesn't really look like it, does it? No. Because I think you compound this with random. Man, I'm gonna have to. Here's the funny thing about this. I watch my own tutorials to do things all the time. I'm like, wait, how did I do that? And then I can go back and watch it. Like, that's what a lot of the course is. See, I can't even do that. What am I? I'm doing something wrong here, but I'm getting to the end of this, and I know I need to change to something else. I think random will fit better. So do I just go position random? Like, it's saying that I can't do that on a position parameter. Yeah, it's not going to do anything. There's something like fundamental that I'm not thinking of right now. But anyway. Try to pair null2 to another null. Okay, I'll try that. No, that's null text. Hold on. Maybe that's where I was going wrong. I thought I put a null on this Oh, I'm in scene 2. Holy cow. Okay. Okay. So another null. And I'm saying, hey, be parented by this null. And then I'm also opening it up. And I'm saying, okay, start here. Because that, yeah, like, I don't think, like you have to have a parameter in place to use random, is how I understand it. I'm pretty sure. Ain't nothing happening. What in the world? Oh, okay, let me have it render. Okay, that literally did nothing. What? What's going on here? Okay. Can I have my preview? Let's go full. Let me render this out. Okay, nothing's happening. I can't even tell if the null's even doing anything. I don't know. I'll try and work on that. I thought I could just put an adjustment layer and things would be fine, but I'll have to work on that one. And then I got to refresh on, let me write that down. You refresh on just random and wiggle. Do crazy numbers to see the effect if it's applied or not. I mean, I thought I already did. Can I go forward? There we go. Random. I mean, you saw that changed. It's 2, 3, 6. Or, okay, let's do something more drastic. 20, 50. Random. The 6. There. Yeah, project contains an expression error. Error 1. Error at line, property position, null 4, and comp. Yeah, like. Can it work if you use adjustment with transform and add wiggle to position on that? Okay. Instead of this null, we're going to go back to adjustment. And then I'm telling, hey, everything under this, which is the null and camera. What if I keep it? I don't think that's gonna work, but what if I actually keep it in 2D? I don't know the logic if that's gonna work. Yeah, no. Okay, let's do it 3D. Let's try that. Still no. Fuse adjustment with transform and add wiggle to position on that. Okay, let me take off random. I'm like, this should be so easy. What are we missing here? Oh, you know what? You know what it could also be? You know what it could also be? Say that I did all of this, right? And I said we're going to okay, wait. Okay, I have my work. Oh no. Oh, we're about to crash. No. No. Okay. No. Oh man. I think okay, we're back. Okay. Try his method. It will work. I mean, did I not just try it? I thought I just tried it. Well, okay. My other idea was this. We do pre-compose, and then we do it there. Like on this scene now, then we just add. So I'll do what you're saying. So nothing's in 3D right now because now it's a pre-comp, and then we could say, hey, transform, go ahead and turn into. You're saying wiggle. Mm-hmm. We'll do something 310, and then yeah, just do that. Are we seeing anything? I don't think I'm seeing anything. Try something more drastic. 50, 100. Nothing. Something's off. I need to revisit this. I'm not doing something right. Cause I for sure I thought that this would work, but and I'm not. Yeah, I'm still. Do it on the pre-comp directly. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a solution. I mean that works. All right. I mean, we'll go ahead and end on that note, right? Yeah, that's like so subtle you can't even see it. Let's do, I don't know, 20. Heck yeah, y'all. All right, Vicar. Appreciate y'all. Okay, I'll announce when I'm going live again. I do have a lot of stuff to do in the next few days. I'll let y'all know during the week, kind of see what it turns into. But thank y'all again. I have 60% off sales going on if you guys want to support the channel and support what we're doing. You can learn the fundamentals of not only the 3D stuff, but getting into After Effects. I know that it's really intimidating for people that might be Premiere Pro-centric editors, but we're offering that. So if you guys want to get in there, you can do Orbit. And this is not just for the first month. This is not for the first month. This is for all of the payments. For all of the payments are 60% off. We're offering that for the next 4 days. So if you want to support the channel, you can do that. But thank y'all again. I think this was hilarious getting to this. This is awesome. But we will keep going. Yeah, keep the live on the channel. Yeah, man, of course. I will keep these going cuz I don't have time to do all of the crazy edits anymore. Like I'm not in that place right now. I have to do a lot of freelancing work still to kind of keep the bills going. So if you guys are enjoying this, I'm just going to keep doing this because this is probably the most time effective and efficient stuff that I can do right now in terms of still being involved with the community. So thank you all again. I will see you soon. I'll see you next time. Thank you all.